Mm. Sure feels good being retired. Well, it's just after 9 a.m. here in Bogota. Just woke up basically. Made a nice little batch of coffee here. Get started on the day. Today I'm moving places, so it's going to be a bit of a thing. But looking forward to going to a new place. It was nice to have an apartment and have some space to myself, but I'm ready to be around some people again. I think I can deal with some people again, finally. See what the view's looking like this morning here on the rooftop. Not bad, eh? Look at all these suckers going to work, eh? Nah, but for real, I'm not retired in a traditional sense, obviously. I'm like what I prefer to call reverse retired. You know? Just gonna live right now and do whatever I want. And then when I'm old and, crippled, after I lived my life, then I can go work a shitty job and exchange my time for money. Now, that's a funny concept, and that's actually not really my true plan. I mean, I'm not trying to just never save any money and go into the future planning to eventually be broke. But if that's what it comes to, then I guess I'm okay with that, because the point is I don't believe that you need to wait to live your life. Why not start living when you're young and when you're healthy? And I mean, yeah, you need money to do it, unfortunately. But you don't need to work your whole life away when you're young. Check out the view from the pool here. The mountains in Bogota, makes it have sort of a nice atmosphere. This is great. It's raining now. Beautiful Bogota weather. Now, this concept, reverse retirement, I mean, it was only just recently that I came up with this name for it. I think I saw it in a meme, so I'm not going to take credit for it, but the idea of it was something I thought about a long time ago, especially traveling in the past. I would see really old people, and they'd be trying to do some tourist thing, especially sometimes I'd be somewhere where you have to hike a long hike, and they're just dying. Oh God, I don't know if I'm gonna make it alive. Good for them, but why not do that when you're young? It's so much more enjoyable, as far as I can tell. And yeah, the money thing, I mean, that's an issue, but basically what I've always done is worked hard, but only worked to the point where I have enough to do what I want. And that's actually something philosophically that I took from the Bible, believe it or not. In Ecclesiastes, I don't know the exact verse, but at some point he's basically saying, why do you work so hard? I think he's specifically addressing a young man and saying, why do you toil away if you don't have a family? And why are you trying to waste your time achieving these material things? Work for your means, take care of yourself, and then enjoy life. It's like so many people that I've seen in the past, um, they're just so set on having their job and accumulating money, and they just want to watch the numbers go up in the bank account, and they think that's like the most important thing. And maybe they'll take time off, maybe they'll go on a vacation, but it's always like, I have to get back, I can't lose this money that I've gained, I have to keep on accumulating, and I have to keep on doing more. Sure, that's one way to look at things, but for me it was just never much incentive. Especially, I worked at a mine for a while, and everybody there, they're usually making pretty good money, but what are they doing with it? Just buying useless crap most of the time, like new clothes, or spending it all on drugs and drinking, or buying a huge house and just essentially paying for a mortgage, and just trapping themselves in this situation. And I guess some of them, but I would say not a lot of them, are actually truly happy doing that. And a lot of them silently wish they could just go out, travel, see the world, live the way they want to, not have to answer to a boss all the time. And I'm saying it's possible. And it's not just possible, it's like not actually that hard if you put your effort and intention into doing that. I had to come back inside. It was starting to rain a bit too much. As I was saying, though, the point of reverse retirement isn't, well, let's just not work and let's just be lazy. The point is to seize the day. Essentially, do what you want with your life now instead of waiting. Why should you wait to live your life? Oh, I'm just going to put in 20, 30, 40 years of work, and then I'm going to have the freedom to do what I want. It's your choice to decide if you have freedom or not, or if you want to live like a slave in a way. And there's always ways to make money, but it's also, I'm not saying never work. I'm saying make the money that you need to make, and don't chase material things. Don't chase imaginary concepts of security, of safety. And don't be so convinced that you have to do things the right way. So the point of reverse retirement is question the narrative. Especially because tomorrow isn't actually guaranteed. That's the biggest thing. Sure, like, you can save money, and you don't want to just always live in the present and be completely I can't think of the word right now. Expedient. There. You don't want to just live expedient, live only for the moment, chase short-term gratification. That's really also not the point. The point is the fact that life is limited and you need to take advantage of it when you can, if you can, which you probably can. Because, yeah, money is a huge restraint, of course, but the biggest restraint is usually your mindset. And especially once you realize that, well, most of the things that you really are trying to get money for are not the things that you're going to remember and that you're really going to care about. Like, having a nice car, sure, it's great, but it's not going to make or break you. It's not going to actually improve your life, and you're not going to necessarily be satisfied, or you're not going to look back at your life and be like, oh, I'm sure glad that I had that nice car. I mean, maybe a few people, if that's your thing, then that's fine. But then it's not a waste of money, and then you're actually living to the point that I'm making. If all you ever wanted was that nice car, so you work hard enough or figure out a way to attain that, then you're doing right. You're doing right by yourself, and that's the whole point. And yeah, question the narrative, because society wants you to trade your time for money, but time is limited. Money isn't limited. Yeah, sure, it's limited maybe to you right now, but you can always make more money. And that's what I'm saying is I'm retired, but I can always go and make more money anytime that I need to. And if I have to, then I will. And that's okay. But why should I just slave away when I have things that I want to do, when I have a life, a vision that I want to achieve? Then go for it. That's what I'm saying. So, don't take for granted the time that you have. And that's something I see, especially with, I would see older people in companies that I had worked for, and it just made me realize I never would say anything, but they would be like, oh, I only got 5 more years, then I'm retired. And I'm like, none of that's guaranteed. That's the problem. Like, retire now, man. If there's something that you want to do, if there's something calling you, then go for it right now. Because, yeah, maybe playing it safe seems appealing, but it's not safe. You could die any day. I mean, and that's not an exaggeration. I mean, if you work, when I worked at the mine, for example, it was dangerous. Like 5 more years at that place, an accident could happen. You could die. But also, it's hard on your health working certain jobs, like working industrial jobs, and in a lot of cases are hard on your health. How much more mentally drained and physically drained are you going to be 5 years from now than you are right now? And then how much harder is that actually going to make it for you to live the life that you want to live at that point? So take advantage of your health and your youth when you can. And when you're young, money is not the most important thing. I mean, sure, being young and rich would sure be a lot of fun, but you really don't need money to have fun. And if you need money, you can always make money if you're willing. Well, that basically sums it up, I guess. I gotta clean up this place, head out, go try out a new part of the city, and yeah, more adventures coming soon. Go out and live your life, Quit your job. I'm just joking, don't do that. Unless you really want to.